Started off working at my mom's house, but I'm still stuck inside my mom's house. Dreaming about 10 bands when I walk it out. Then I wake up, boy, what you talking about? You ain't never gonna catch me slipping. Just wait until you see me winning. And I'ma tell you from the jump, I just hope you listen. Homie, wait until you see me winning.
This is Cover 2 Sports. I'm Chase Hope.
I'm Tex Armstreet.
And man, we don't blow coverages, in case you didn't know.
Hey, it's just we shut you down, man. It's kind of like, I mean, the refs, they almost blew that coverage yesterday on Jesse James.
Almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they got it right after the review and everything.
You know, thank God for replay.
You know, I have my being a big baseball guy, I have my doubts on replay because we're still getting calls wrong. But I feel like they got that one right. Is the rule kind of stupid? Yeah. Should there be more clarification? Maybe, if you can make that. But like fast speed, like to the visual eye, to the naked eye, it's a catch.
And sometimes I feel like replay takes away from that. But if you're trying to, like, it takes away from, you know, just your first reaction. But being a major brand like the NFL is, you want to get it right no matter what.
Well, I got trust issues anyways, so I can't always trust what my eyes see.
I hear you.
And
believe half what you hear, nothing that you see.
Yeah,
got
exactly,
you, dog.
you know. And so it's like it's a necessary evil type thing. Like, does it take away from the game a little bit? Yeah, of course. But if it's not a touchdown, it's not a touchdown.
Yeah.
And people, you know, I was on Twitter last night, and people were saying, you can't show me one angle. I have like 4 that shows that the ball rattled and it hit the ground. And like the key word, I think, a lot of times people don't really listen for like what the refs say, because they have like the different ones. They have the call's been overturned, it's been confirmed, or it stands. So if it's been overturned, obviously it's been overturned. If it's confirmed, that means there was enough evidence to confirm, like it agrees with the play. And then if it says it stands, that means
there's not enough evidence
to overturn it, so we're sticking with the original call because we can't overturn it. So a lot of people have to go with what the ref says, and they don't pay enough attention to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and another thing is, it ain't just that ref looking at it. There's a whole team in New York. Yep. I mean,
and you got all the other refs that are looking at it. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, it's the funniest thing because fans think they're the best at it, but if they were, they'd be getting paid in stripes.
And listen, guys, listen. You can bring up any argument you want. Dez dropped the ball then. Jesse James didn't catch the ball now.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen people saying, well, is he not down when his forearm hits? Is he not down when his knee hits? He still has to survive hitting the ground, like you said. I mean,
and it's like, I hate the Patriots as much as the next guy. I wanted the Steelers to win the ball game, okay, like I did. But he doesn't survive the ground. There's a point when the ball is pinned between he and the ground.
Yeah.
Therefore, it is not a catch. It's not. Like, you can't. If he takes, and this is what I was explaining to someone on Twitter, my buddy Justin Pinkston. If he gets that ball on like the 4 or 5 yard line, catches it, runs 3 or 4 steps, and then that happens, that is by all means a touchdown. Period. End of discussion. But it was all one continuous motion of him catching the ball, hitting the ground, and then going down. Now, if somebody doesn't touch him, if the defender doesn't touch him, the ball ricochets or whatever, and then he flips over and makes it, I don't know if it gets another look. You know, I don't think if somebody else looks at it. But it was so...
well, I mean, they got to review scoring plays anyways, but yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if there would have been as big of an argument because one of the coaches didn't throw the flag at that point. So, should it have been a catch? Maybe. Maybe it should have been. But under this rule that we have, it's not a catch.
I mean, rule's the rule. Every player out there knows it. You can't argue.
You can agree with a call and disagree with the rule.
Yeah.
Period.
And another thing is, if you're the Steelers, I mean, does this win really matter? Yeah, okay, maybe it's for home field, but wouldn't you rather just beat them in the playoffs?
Yep.
Come playoff time, you're not going to be thinking about this win.
And it's like one of the biggest things when I talk about like disagreeing with the rule, but having the same call be right, is what happened in the Oakland game. Derek Carr got stingy. He had the first down. He got stingy, tried to dive for the touchdown. Ball came out, fumbled in the end zone, other team's ball.
Ridiculous on Carr's part.
It's ridiculous.
You would have had time on the clock.
Yep.
First down.
And so, like, is it a stupid rule? Like, do I agree with that rule? Absolutely not. I think it's a dumb rule. But under the rule that we have,
it's the rule.
So you got to follow it, you know. And I don't think a lot of Steelers fans in general, I don't think they were able to process and pull apart the catch and their feelings from the rule itself.
Yeah. And being a sports fan and having that sports team, I understand you want to, it's end all, be all, give all for that team, but you can't just be a homer. You got to be able to accept. You got to be able to separate your feelings from what actually happened. And me looking at it with no bias towards either team, it's not a catch.
Yeah.
Full speed, yes, it looks like a catch, but you review it, you slow it down, you hit all the different angles.
And it
was the right call. I'm glad they overturned it.
That's exactly the point that we have replay now too. Like that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to take the naked eye, which can deceive you, which is why magicians are a thing. They can deceive you so quickly. That's why we have these extra looks. That's why all scoring plays are reviewed. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you have to make sure that you are doing everything you can to win the game, and you have to make sure that you're being the best you can always be, and you're always ready for whatever comes up. You know what I'm saying? And you have to make sure that whatever comes your way, you have to make sure that whatever call is called, whatever situation your team is in, you have to make sure all 53 of you guys are ready. You have to make sure everybody's ready for every play, and that's just the way it is. And in my opinion, one of the best guys who do that, Nick Foles. That man, Pro Bowler, 2013, people are like, oh, Carson Wentz goes down. Eagles season is over. I'm like, I'm not so sure about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say Nick Foles is the best, but I mean, honestly, if that's your backup,
I would. He's the best backup in the league.
Oh, best backup? Yeah, I'm saying best QB.
No, he's better than Tom. He's better than Ben. He's better than Aaron.
Yeah, okay.
No, okay.
I mean, he's Foles, man.
But I mean, he's the best. You cannot argue that he's not the best backup.
They have a Pro Bowler.
Minus maybe Case Keenum.
Okay,
I mean, with what he's doing, but in my opinion, now he's a starter. Period. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But he gets traded away. He comes back, does all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like he's behind Carson Wentz, and he's like, man, my job. Like, I'm just going to be here, you know?
Yeah.
And then it's like he gets thrown in there.
And he's like, hey, man.
4 touchdowns.
Yeah. I mean, he was 24 of 38, 237 yards, and 4 touchdowns, no picks. That wins football games.
And the way, the Eagles, their leadership is really smart because the way their team is set up is to be able to do exactly what Foles did. Put somebody else in there at quarterback. Because, I don't think anybody, minus a couple guys in the league, will be as electrifying as Carson Wentz is. But their offense is set up with Ajayi and Jeffrey and all those guys to where they could lose a starting quarterback.
And another thing is, Aguilar's came on strong this year. I thought when they traded Jordan Matthews for the season, I was like, oh my God, what are you thinking?
Yep.
Now it's going to be, Jeffrey and Aguilar. But Aguilar's, man,
he's holding on.
I was ready to deem him a bust before this year.
He's making a case for why he wouldn't be a bust, why he's going to be a premier threat in the league,
Yeah.
And so, their offense and their team is really set up like that. You take off, Zach Ertz hasn't been playing that much. And so you have a lot of weapons. And so Nick Foles just kind of channeled his inner Pro Bowler. And
I think Doug Peterson, the coach out in Philly, done exactly what you said. Call Chip Kelly, man. What works?
Yep.
Nick Foles, man, he looked great.
What do we got to do to make him comfortable? And there was a play, I was watching some of the highlights. There's a play where Pierre-Paul is coming at him. Just full steam ahead, right? Foles fakes a throw. Pierre goes over him and falls to the ground, and then Nick Foles throws something like a 40-yard pass or something like that, And so people, I still don't think they're making the Super Bowl at all. But
we'll get into that later.
Yeah. But they're a good team, and Nick Foles is not a slouch. Nick Foles is not. He's not a Matt Castle. He's not a Tom Savage. He's not a T.J. Yates. He's not a Geno Smith.
If my roster is as complete and as good as the Eagles, I'm more than comfortable rolling Nick Foles out there.
Oh yeah, I would be comfortable throwing Tom Savage out there with the Eagles. Well, I don't know about that, but you know what I'm saying? Like some of these backup. I don't know. Tom Savage is a garbage bag, but these guys, they're good. There's a good football team. I like to see Philly winning. It's just one of those teams like last year when the Yankees were playing. I was liking to see them win because they weren't supposed to win. So they weren't supposed to win coming into the year. And this year in football, there's a lot of teams who are there's a lot of teams who are not supposed to be good who are doing really well.
Like the Rams. I didn't think they were going to be this good.
The Rams like you said, the Rams might be for real. And there's also a lot of teams who are supposed to do really good but aren't doing really good. And so I think in a year
the Giants. I mean, for the year, I thought they were winning the NFC East.
And then, like in a time now where football, I think it's like even though the ratings are going down, I think it's one of those like rebuilding things. Like the ratings are going down, but it's going to come back for a major bounce back. You know? And teams are really competing like this. Even though there's a lot of terrible teams, this may be one of the most competitive years as far as like top 10 teams go, where you don't know who's going anywhere. Yeah,
I mean, honestly, I can't sit here and say the Patriots are a lock for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you can't say
and in the NFC, I can't say anybody's a lock.
You can't say that anyone in any division and any side of the ball or any side of the league is a lock. You know what I'm saying? Because you got the Saints that are in there, you got the Rams, you got the Vikings, you got the Patriots, you got the Steelers, you got all those guys. You know what I'm saying? And those guys, even though they're really good, you got the Jaguars too. Like those teams are really good, but they're all like right there. There's not one team who's won 14 ball games or 15 ball games and's running away with it. You know what I mean? And so like you have to take heed of the opportunities that you're given. And a lot of teams are doing that. I think the Eagles are doing that right now. Like they understand like Carson Wentz has put them in a good position to win, and Nick Foles is just kind of stepping in to fill those shoes. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
And so I'm happy that Nick Foles is doing well and I'm happy that the Eagles are doing well. But some of these teams out here, man, that are like right there on that cusp, they could be like the Titans. They're supposed to be their year.
Huh.
It's like, listen, you got Jacksonville, who's supposed to be terrible. Okay,
well, I mean,
not winning the division.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Not being the clear-cut favorites. And you got beautiful Blake, who's not been a terrible quarterback, but he's not also been very good either. And then you have all those. Once Deshaun Watson goes down, it should have been the Tennessee Titans division to run away with. Okay? And then you got the freaking, what's that other team? The Colts. Like, I can't even think of them because they're so terrible.
I'll go and tell you, if we're about to get on this Titans trip, a bunch of people's going to hear me get really pissed off.
Oh, why's that?
But you lose to the freaking San Francisco 49ers.
Hey, hold on. The Texans lost to them.
Exactly. Without Deshaun Watson, bro.
You watch your mouth.
I mean,
you lower your voice.
You even said Savage is a garbage.
No, I mean, Savage wasn't even in the game.
And don't get me wrong. This is not. I'm not knocking Jimmy Garoppolo. He's 5-0 as an NFL starter. He's playing. He's playing good. He's playing great. But you can't allow the man to go 31 of 43 for 381 yards and a touchdown. I mean, honestly, if you're not exactly, it's piss poor defense, it's piss poor play calling, it's piss poor coaching. If you're in this situation, like say you don't even watch the game and you see 25-23, automatically assume, damn, Carlos Hyde must have had a hell of a game. No, 16 carries, 25 yards, 1.6 average yards per carry for the game.
It's a big day for him.
But you know who did have a good game?
Who's that?
Marquise Goodwin.
Man, he's the GOAT.
He's
the best receiver in the league.
Goodwin.
He's the best receiver in the league.
You can't shut down Marquise Goodwin. I mean, have you? And then the next receiver. And by the way, Marquise Goodwin, he's fast. I mean, that's it.
Yep.
That's it. 10 catches for 114 yards. You let the man get open 10 times? Seriously? And Tex, I know you know this next guy. I know you know him. The second leading receiver for the 49ers, Kendrick Bourne, man.
Oh, yeah. He went to No Name University.
Yeah, who the hell is Kendrick Bourne? Who is that? My God.
Now, listen. When it comes to the Titans, okay, everybody say that, like...
sorry to interrupt. I find it funny. I'm telling people not to be a homer, and here I am just... I can't attach...
Well, you're not really being a homer. I
can't separate my feelings right now.
You're not really being a homer. You're just not... Listen. This is the thing about the Titans, though. Everybody clamors about how good they are, how good they've been. You know, they've won for the majority of their time. You know what I'm saying? Out of, let's see, was that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, out of 18 years that they've been the Tennessee Titans, they've won the division 3 times. 3 times. They didn't even win the division when they went to the Super Bowl. They were second in the division that year. So that means even then they were the second best team in the league, in the division, okay? And so people say that the Titans have won for the majority. They haven't. Yes, they went to the Super Bowl
in '99.
They won a wild card in 2003. They won a divisional playoff and got to the AFC Championship again in 2002. But since then, they haven't they won. The last time they even were in first place was 2008.
I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm going ahead and saying it. There's no way we make the playoffs.
No, I don't think there is either.
I mean, we're sitting in the 5 spot, the top wild card spot at 8-6. The Buffalo Bills have got the 6th spot right below us, 8-6, and then in the hunt, right now they're out. You have the Ravens at 8-6, Chargers at 7-7. We're not getting in at 8-8, and that's exactly what we're going to go. We're not going to beat the Rams, and right now we're not going to beat
next week.
Yeah, and right now we're not going to beat the Jaguars.
Listen, y'all definitely ain't beating the Rams. And I don't think there's a penny wisher's chance in hell that you beat the Jaguars.
I mean, and what's awful, man, is Mularkey's got to go, and he's a great man. He ain't a terrible coach, but if you're not going to fire your offensive coordinator in Robisky just because he's your guy, there's a reason the man didn't have a job for the past 5 years before you hired him. Okay, no, there's a reason. Robisky is awful. If you notice. When they go in that hurry up, there's a reason the offense runs so much smoother with Marcus Mariota in charge. Rashard Matthews even said it's time to let Mariota be fully in charge.
Yep.
Robisky is absolutely god-awful. It's time for him to go.
Well, I don't think you guys have had the best luck of coaches either because, you haven't won a division since Jeff Fisher was there.
Well, you know who our coaches are?
You
honestly,
got Fisher, Munchak, Wisenhunt, and Mularkey.
Do any of them guys just knock you damn socks off?
No, but I'm just saying, to me, there becomes a point when,
we have 8-8 and Fisher. Awesome, man. He's the definition of average. Munchak.
Well, hold on, time out. You say Jeff Fisher was the...
No, he had good year. I'm saying he's had good seasons in Tennessee, but if you look, majority of his seasons he's 8-8, 9-7.
Because he took you out of your own.
7-9.
He took you on your own Super Bowl.
Did he? Did he? Was it not McNair? Was it not George?
13-3, 13-3, 11-5, 12-4, 10-6, 13.
I'm just saying, look at the talent on that roster.
I'm not. But I'm just saying, because it bothers me when people say coaches should be fired because they play on the field. Yes, there are times when coaches are the direct representation of what is happening.
And that's
on the field.
exactly what this is.
I don't think the Titans would be that good I don't think the Titans would be that great if they had.
Man, listen, you call up somebody like Josh McDaniels. Call him. Look what he did in Denver, man. He wasn't great, but look at that offense. Look at that offense in New England. Yeah, Marcus Mariota ain't Tom Brady, but Tennessee has all the weapons. They have a good franchise-building quarterback. They have 2 good running backs. Marcus Mariota is somebody you can build a franchise around. He is. And you have good wide receivers. You drafted a guy at the 5th overall pick for a reason. Throw him the damn ball. Throw him the ball. That's all you got to do. You drafted him for a reason. Quit having him run these damn sideline routes, these out routes. Give him the damn ball. It pisses me off. I can barely watch the Titans. I hate being a Tennessee fan, Tex. Nothing goes right. Nothing.
You know why? Because they're not good. You can blame the coaches.
Get out of here.
Listen,
get out of here.
You can blame the coaches.
Get on.
You can blame the coaches all you want to. I can blame Bill O'Brien. But you're telling me in a division where the starting quarterbacks have been Jacoby Brissett, Tom Savage, and Blake Bortles, and Andrew Luck when he was partially healthy. You know what I'm saying? You're telling me out of the past two or 3 years that y'all haven't won a division since 2008. But listen.
Do you know who our quarterbacks were before Mariota?
You've had Mariota for 3 years. I don't want to hear it.
I know, but I'm saying before you're talking. If you're bringing up why we haven't in the last however long, we had Charlie Whitehurst going out there playing games. Matt Hasselbeck, he was serviceable. He was good. He was good for us. But clipboard Jesus, man, Whitehurst, Kerry Collins.
Listen,
we have not had. You can say what you want, man, but McNair, well, as of right now, is the best quarterback in Tennessee Titans franchise history. I'm not counting the Houston Oilers. I feel like that's more Houston.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, yeah, Vince Young looked so promising. Jeff Fisher single-handedly ruined him.
Yep.
And now Mariota, I'm trying to have hope, man. I'm trying to.
Now listen.
But every bad game, every loss, I'm losing my hope.
But what I'm trying to tell, what I'm trying to tell all these delusional Tennessee fans is the Titans are not as good as everybody thinks they are.
I feel like when you say delusional, you're speaking of a particular individual named Noah.
Noah McKay, yes. Like, I told Noah called me absolutely asinine crazy to say that the Texans or Deshaun Watson win a Super Bowl before the Titans or Mariota would. Anyways, I'm not even going to get into that.
It's probably going to happen.
That's a whole show.
I can be realistic.
But this is my thing. Mariota, I will lead the charge with Mariota. Mariota is not as good as everyone says he is. Is he a wonderful human being who says he needs to apologize after saying pissed off? Yes, he is. Okay? Is he a leader? Yes, he is. Is he a very, very good quarterback? Yes, he is. Is he as good as everyone says he is? No, he is not. Everybody makes him out to be like he's the best, one of the best quarterbacks or like the top 5 quarterback in the league, and he's not. Okay?
No, I've never once said he's top 5.
You know what I'm saying? Because that means you got to beat out Brady, Rodgers, Roethlisberger, Keenum, Ryan, Wentz,
Breeze.
Flacco, Breeze. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he's beaten. In my opinion, I'd take him over Flacco.
No, I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? Like just in general.
I hear you.
And so people are saying like he's this great quarterback, and like once you say anything wrong about him, they're like, oh, it's not true. You know, and they put the blinders on. He's not as good as everybody thinks he is.
Honestly, that's Tennessee, man. That's a Tennessee fan. It goes even to college football.
And that's what I'm saying. Corey Davis is good. Okay?
Why are we not giving him the ball?
Delaney Walker is good. Woodyard, good. Byard, good. Adore Jackson, he's going to be really good.
Arakpo, good. Logan Ryan, good.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, there's Jarrell Casey, good. There's no reason for this team to finish 8-8. There's no reason for this team not to beat the trash-ass 49ers.
But here's the thing. You have a team full of superstars or very good players, that doesn't mean they're always going to win. You had probably one of the most talented teams that has maybe ever been assembled in the National Football League. You know, like you were going up against Marshall Faulk and guys like that.
Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, there's not much you could do with that. You know what I mean? But, talent doesn't always equate to winning.
Yeah, but
coaches, players, whatever, it does not always equate to winning.
Going back to that 99 season, I mean, the Titans were talented on both sides of the ball. They had Javon Curse. I mean, they had maybe the greatest offensive lineman ever, Bruce Matthews, Steve McNair, Eddie George. I mean, there was more on that defense than Javon Curse, but I mean, he was just a freak, man.
Yeah. But people always want to blame the coaches, and like I'm not saying that he's a great coach and yada yada yada, you know, but you can't always like. When do you start to call a pig a pig? You know what I'm saying? This team has never won more than 9 games. This team with this coach, with these players, have never won the division.
I mean, I hear you, but I mean that's why I'm not saying I'm not going to sit here and call for Mike Mularkey's head. I mean, I'd be okay depending on who they hired, but he also has to have the ability to say, listen, I know I brought you in, man, but you're not getting the job done. You got to let your OC go. Robisky, I mean, it's just the play calling is absolutely horrid. I mean, going back to last week, games on the line, you're going to call a play that is focused around a cornerback that he's never even practiced before. I mean, get him out of there.
I don't disagree with saying that some of the coaches need to be let go, but a lot of times people think that like if you just bring in, you know, a Bill Belichick or you bring in somebody like that, that they're just going to win. And that's not always the case. I mean,
a great example of, not always saying the coach goes last year with the Cleveland Cavaliers when they fired David Blatt. Mm-hmm. There was no reason for the man to go. What, because LeBron didn't like him? There's a reason LeBron's a player.
Yep.
But, I mean, I see your point, and I see where you're coming from. But there comes a time where, you know, you got to call a spade.
Yeah. I just don't think that the Tennessee Titans are a Bill Belichick or great head coach away from winning a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that would make the difference in this team winning 8 games or this team winning 12 to 13 games.
Well, I see what you're saying, but I can't say that because honestly, if you look at New England's roster, it's not that good. I mean, it's really not.
But that's not all the coach.
Belichick comes in here and coaches these guys up. I mean, he's turned Chris Hogan into a star.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
He's turned Julian Edelman into a star.
Bill Belichick is the exception, not the norm.
I see what you're saying.
But like, because if Bill Belichick was put on the Browns, they'd probably win 7 games. You know what I mean? Just because of the play calling, etc. But I just don't. I just don't think you can't replace Belichick. There's nobody near Belichick. So, like, the alternatives are probably not that good. Like, there's not a coach you could tell me would come in and be able to coach his team to a Super Bowl other than maybe Belichick. You know
I get that. I mean, not a Super Bowl right away, but I feel like if they brought in Josh McDaniels, the offense improves. Now, who would he bring in as his defensive coordinator? It just depends. But you know who honestly is not that far away from winning a Super Bowl?
I mean, it's not the Titans, so who would it be?
The Jaguars and as you call him, Beautiful Blake.
Yeah, Beautiful Blake. And that was gonna be my next point. Is even if you bring in McDaniels and guys, isn't McDaniels? Yeah. Even if you bring in guys like that, you still have to get over the hump. Okay? And like the AFC South has been the trashiest division in football for the
It's on the come up.
But it's on the come up now. So like you get a better offense, but then you gotta beat a fully healthy Texans defense. You gotta beat the Jaguars defense. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you can do that. And even if you don't, you got to beat guys like the Vikings defense. You got to beat the Saints defense. You got to really be that top tier team.
Yeah.
And I don't think they have the tools to do that. I don't think Mariota is that guy. I don't think Mariota can beat the Steelers defense. I don't think he can beat the Vikings defense. I don't think he can beat the Rams defense. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And when it comes down to it,
I don't think we can beat anybody right now.
But no, I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about if everybody's healthy and you have a different coach. I don't know if you can get over the hump.
I don't know. It's all different. I mean, the whole dynamic can change.
Yeah, but as you were saying, this division is it's going to be a very good division next year. If everybody can stay healthy on all the teams, minus the Colts, this is going to be a very good division.
I mean, one of the biggest things to look for in this division is what do the Jaguars do in the draft? I mean, are they going to take a QB depending on who's there? They going to stick with Bortles?
They don't listen. They don't need to draft anybody on the defense. I mean, obviously, if Myles Garrett is there. If like he was this year, if he's there, you take him.
Yeah,
you can't pass on a
generational.
You know what I'm saying? On a game changing type guy. Yeah. You take the defensive player. Period. Okay. It's like what the Texans did. Their defense was great, and we took Jadeveon. You just have to do it. But I don't know. I mean, you draft a guy. I don't think they take a first rounder on a QB. Yeah. I wouldn't. Yeah. Because I don't think Blake Bortles is as bad as everybody says he is. You know
I mean, there's games where Blake Bortles is. Been awful. But honestly, guys, he's not that bad of a quarterback.
No, and it's like everybody talks about how bad he is and all that type of stuff. He throws about 1.5 touchdowns per interception. You know what I'm saying? And on the career, how many the interception to touchdown ratio, he's 38th. Okay?
And this is all time.
You know what I'm saying? 38th. He beats out your beloved Steve McNair and Jay Cutler, Dante Culpepper, Roger Staubach, Matt Hasselbeck. So it's not a lot of big names.
And will you tell me the name right above him?
Yes, I can. Eli Manning.
Eli Manning.
And then not two, and only 3 or 4 above him. 4 above him is Favre, Flacco, Cunningham, Carson Palmer. Michael Vick, Tannehill. So he's not far off of one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game in Brett Favre in the terms of touchdown interception ratio. Okay.
Yeah, and honestly, that's a huge stat. That's a huge stat for a quarterback.
Big stat, And so he's not as bad as everybody says he is. They just like to play that part. You know what I'm saying? They just like to say that he's not a good quarterback, and they like to say. And I mean, he's thrown the fewest yards he's ever thrown was in 13 games started, which was almost 3,000. You know what I'm saying? Then he's got 3,000. He's got 4,500, 4,000, 31,000, or 3,100 already this year. And so he's not as bad as everybody says he is. Does he have some mistakes that are just blown up because everybody's like, oh, he's a terrible quarterback? Yes. But you're telling me that this defense is the sole reason they've won as many games as they've won 10 games? That's the sole reason?
No, it ain't. And another thing is with Bortles, he finally has a run game he can depend on.
Yep.
It does help hide some of his flaws, but there's a reason.
Ivory yesterday against the Texans had a big game.
Yeah.
Fournette goes out and Ivory comes in.
And when they have Fournette in,
yep.
Fournette's a beast, man. He's a different beast.
He's going to be a top 5 running back in my opinion.
Yeah, he has all the makings to be. And my thing is with Bortles, I was one of those calling him trash because he played like trash.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, there's a reason in that draft class he was projected, to be that top quarterback taken.
You give him Marquise Lee, you give him Allen Robinson when he's healthy, you give him some of these other guys that he's got. He's a good quarterback. It just upsets me because people are saying how terrible he is. He's a good quarterback. He hasn't had a team. You put Marcus Mariota on what the Jaguars have been the last 5 years or 4 years that Bortles has been there, you're going to compare him the same. Period. End of discussion, in my opinion. Like, would he be a little bit better? Yes, of course, because he's a better quarterback than Blake Bortles is. But is he going to be that much better with the team that he was handed? Not at all. And so you got to think about the circumstances. You know what I'm saying? And he's got 16 touchdowns, 8 interceptions this year. You know what I'm saying? Or 19 touchdowns, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And so it's like, he's not as bad as everybody thinks he is. So I don't know if in the draft they should spend a big draft pick on him or on a quarterback. They should probably get a second or third rounder guy.
But the thing that gets him, man, is from where they already picked up his option. I mean, if they keep him, I mean, he's getting paid $20+ million. I mean, that's a lot of money.
If he makes it to the playoffs and goes pretty deep in the playoffs,
oh, they have to spend it.
They have to. You know what I'm saying? Because he could. You never know. Next year could be the year that because I think he's turned a corner this year, but next year with the team that he's going to have, Allen Robinson, Marquise Lee, AJ Bouye on the defense, and all those guys that they've got, he may turn the corner and be a top 10 QB. You know what I'm saying? He may turn the corner and be what the quarterback they could have drafted, what they thought they were getting when they drafted him. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, honestly, yeah, there's a lot of the 49ers took a lot of heat when they took Smith over Rodgers, but honestly, if you look, Smith has not been a terrible quarterback.
No, Smith got his job taken from him by an even better quarterback. You know what I'm saying? In Kaepernick when he got injured and stuff. So he got the job taken from him. He went to Kansas City.
And Kaepernick was just hot at that moment.
And, you know, Smith went to Kansas City, and he's kind of fallen off this year. But, towards the end of this year. But he's still one of the top-tier quarterbacks, you know, in this league that we have. And so, Blake Bortles is very good. He doesn't have anybody in fear of taking his job like Kaepernick did with Smith. Kaepernick came in, they fed the hot hand, and he was great. Colin Kaepernick is still, in my opinion, one of the top-tier quarterbacks in the league. Is he Brady? Is he Roethlisberger?
Well, I ain't gonna say top tier. I think there's different. You have great, good, average.
I think he's
bad,
right above
very bad.
The middle of the pack.
I hear you. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. I think
he's in the better half of QBs. I'm not gonna say he's top 5, top 10. I'd say he's top 15 easy.
Oh, in my opinion, he's right there at the top 50. I don't think there's anybody in the top 15 or in the bottom 15 that could replace him. And I don't think there's anybody that's around that 15, that 12 to 17-ish. You know, I don't think there's anybody because you got, we'll say the middle of the pack guys would be like McCown, Dalton, Prescott, Bortles, Carr, and Winston this season. Okay? That's number 14 to number 19. You know what I'm saying? Right around that.
Yeah.
That's what this has him ranked as. And so Kaepernick, when it comes to a stat called ANY/A, which is gives QB the credit for throwing touchdowns and penalizes them for throwing interceptions and sacks. It calculates all that. So basically, it gives a quarterback control of what they can control. You know what I'm saying? It penalizes them for things like getting sacked, interceptions, which they should, and gives them credit for throwing touchdowns and yards and yada, yada, yada. It has Colin Kaepernick as right in between McCown and Cam Newton for the 19th or 20th spot.
And I'll go ahead and tell you right now, there's 5 teams in the NFL right now that Colin Kaepernick's better than any quarterback on the roster.
I'd say there's more than 5.
Well, I'm just saying the 5 that come to my mind is the
Tennessee.
Jets.
No, I'm kidding.
No.
Yeah.
Is the Jets, the Browns, the Broncos, Jaguars, Dolphins, 6, and the Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals.
7, and the Texans.
If
Deshaun Watson's not hurt.
But people can say the Cardinals. I think he's better than Carson Palmer.
Yeah, I think
he's better than Jay Cutler.
I think he's better than Andy Dalton. I think he's better than Josh McCown. I think he's better than Blake Bortles. I think with the way that Dak is playing, you could argue that he could, you know what I'm saying, start. And so, other than those top 10 guys, top 12 guys, you can't argue somebody being absolutely better than him that they would just take his spot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'm not going to throw out any rookies because they're rookies.
Yeah, of course. So in his career, in which he's only played 16 games twice in his entire career. He's played 11, 8, and 7 after that. He has 72. So in how many games is that? 58 games started. He has 72 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. And people sit here and clamor about him not being good. The reason he's not in the NFL is because he's not good. Really? Really? One of the biggest important stats in the NFL is the touchdown-interception ratio. It's how many times can you complete a touchdown and a pass to a touchdown over how many times you throw an interception, okay? Now, I'm about to blow your mind, okay? Because I like to be a stat guy. I like to look at stats and compare people, you know what I'm saying? So we pulled up the career, not the season, the career NFL leaders in passing the touchdown-interception ratio.
And I'm gonna be honest, guys. This list, this what he's about to talk to you about, it blew me away.
Yeah. Okay. So number 1 is Aaron Rodgers. Number 2 is Tom Brady. Number 3 is Russell Wilson. Number 4 is Derek Carr. Okay. Aaron Rodgers has a 4.01
touchdown-interception ratio.
4 touchdowns per interception. The next best guy is what people argue to be the greatest quarterback of all time, and Tom Brady. He's still almost a full point away. Then it drops down to 2.8 with Russell.
Yep.
And
Brady has a 3.04.
Yeah, and then it drops down to Derek Carr with 2.46. Then number 6, we go Steve Young, 2.17.
Yeah, this ain't just current quarterbacks. This is all time.
So number 6 is Steve Young with 2.4. Oh, sorry, 2.17. Number 7 is Peyton Manning with a 2.15. Drew Brees, 2.14. Tony Romo, 2.2. Matt Ryan, Phillip Rivers with a 2.06 and a 2.04. So you get it. You know what I'm saying? Joe Montana comes in at number 13 with a 1.98. So you get it. Like, these guys are really good quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, these guys are no slouches. And as you go further down the list, you got even better quarterbacks. Roethlisberger, Stafford, Palmer, Flacco, Vic, Manning, all those guys, right? So as I said, Steve Young, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Tony Romo. That's the 6, 7, 8, 9. You know what number 5 is? Coming in with a 2.4. Number 5, TD to interception ratio of all time since the league's inception. Or since this stat has been kept. Based on 1,500 passing attempts, is Colin Kaepernick. He has a better touchdown to interception ratio than Steve Young, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Tony Romo, Phillip Rivers, Donovan McNabb, Joe Montana, Alex Smith, Kirk Cousins, Ben Roethlisberger, Matthew Stafford, Andy Dalton. I'm going to go on. Cam Newton, Ryan Tannehill, Kurt Warner, Dan Marino,
there's only
Carson Palmer, Randall Cunningham. No, I'm not done. Randall Cunningham, Joe Flacco, Brett Favre, Michael Vick, Eli Manning, Blake Bortles, Matt Schaub, Kyle Orton, Steve McNair, Jason Campbell, Trent Green, Jay Cutler, Dante Culpepper, Roger Staubach, Matt Hasselbeck, Brian Leftwich.
He's going to go on forever, guys.
That's only the top 50. But he's number 5.
In my opinion, only 3 names you got to say he's above there. And it's like, wow. Peyton Manning, Joe Montana, Dan Marino.
And then you even throw in Steve Young, Brett Favre.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. There's no reason for this guy not to be starting on Sundays.
You're telling me that over Brett Favre, Kurt Warner, Dan Marino, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, and Steve Young, you're telling me that this man is not better? He's statistically, and how many touchdowns, he's better than all but 4 quarterbacks who've ever played the game.
Yep.
And you're going to tell me, not you, but everybody who says that and is stupid, you're going to tell me that this man is not being blackballed? I'm not saying that like everybody got together and was like, hey, don't sign him. But you're telling me he's not better than at least 20 of the quarterbacks? 50. I'll even dumb it down and say 15.
This kind of switch topics here, but man, you know what the Cleveland Browns would do if they really want to improve their football team? They would sign Colin Kaepernick in the offseason. Not draft a quarterback. Don't draft Josh Rosen. Don't draft Sam Darnold. And you know who they're going to take right there at number 1? They're going to take Saquon Barkley. Get that running game off the ground. Go. And you know who they're going to take right now? It's the 5th pick they got from the Houston Texans last year. You know who they take at 5?
Deshaun Watson, by the way.
Yeah, you know who they take at 5?
Who's that?
Connor Williams, the offensive tackle from Texas.
Yep.
Joe Thomas is not getting any younger.
Nope.
Throw in that line. You got Kaepernick, who's going to be serviceable. You have later round picks.
Than serviceable.
Exactly. I mean, he'd be great. He'd be great in Cleveland. He has weapons. He has Corey Coleman, whoever you add through the draft and free agency. Your team's instantly better.
You forgot Josh Gordon.
Yeah, and they have Josh Gordon coming back. Exactly. Their team would be instantly better than it is if they take Josh Rosen or Sam Darnold.
And I'm telling you, I mean, Haslam would never do that, obviously, but like it gets me heated.
Would that not be great for the Cleveland Browns?
No, I agree. You bring Cap in, you don't go 0-16. Period. You bring Cap in, you got Josh Gordon. You bring in
Barkley,
and then you bring in.
You add in an O line,
you know lineman, and that's what I'm saying. You don't win. You don't lose every game. Period.
No.
Okay. And that's what I'm saying. Kaepernick, on all the teams who do not have a starting quarterback named Newton, Roethlisberger, Rodgers, who do not have like a for-sure top-tier name, he would start on the Vikings. If they don't have Keenum or Bradford or Bridgewater, say they just didn't have a quarterback, you throw him on that team, they're winning as many games as they win. Period. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of that has to do with how that team is set up. But to sit here and tell me that Colin Kaepernick is out of the league because he's not a good quarterback is absolutely asinine and ridiculous. He could start, given the chance, and in football condition, which some people say he's not, but I still think he is. In football condition, you're telling me he doesn't start on at least 12 teams? Absolutely ridiculous. He's better than most of the Week 15 starters. At least half of the Week 15 starters, he's better than they are. And it makes me so mad that people say he's not a starting quarterback or that he's not good, yada, yada, yada. Okay? They say Sean Combs might buy the Panthers. You know what I'm saying? Let Sean Combs buy the Panthers, bring in Cap as a front office guy.
For people who don't know, tell them who Sean Combs is.
P. Diddy. You know what I'm saying? The rapper. This man's built almost $1 billion net worth through rap, and most of it, honestly, is not even through his rapping. It's through his investments that he's done. It's through all the businesses he owns that he invests in. This man is a smart businessman.
Yep.
People saying he wouldn't be a good owner. He's not going to be the only owner of the team either.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's going to pull a Jeter, and he's going to bring in
It'd
guys
be a
around
team,
him.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if you got Colin Kaepernick, who knows the game of football, you bring in Steph Curry, who said he wants to be in on it as well. You bring him in too if he can. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the legality issues of that is, but you bring him in. And you have two guys who obviously know sports. And I think Sean Combs knows a lot more than what people think he knows, because you don't get to almost $1 billion not knowing anything.
Yeah.
And it would give Kaepernick the chance to be back in football. You know what I'm saying? But that was kind of off topic, but it just goes back to my point that he's a good starting quarterback and people say that he's not. And it gets my blood going, man, because he would be better and he deserves a chance because he's sticking up for something. Well, I won't get into all the politics about it, but he deserves to play. He's a better quarterback than most people got out there. And I feel like quarterbacks in this day and age are what really makes or breaks a team.
Yeah, I hear you. And I mean,
Go ahead.
I'm going to go back to what I said, man. If Jimmy Haslam ever cares about any of his teams, I mean, I know he's listening. Who doesn't listen to us? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Do what I just said.
No, I don't disagree with you. I don't know if Cap would go to the Browns, but if he
wants to play football again, he would.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, I think it comes down to the quarterbacks. If you look at all the teams that are predicted to have a chance at the Super Bowl right now, they all have quarterbacks. Case Keenum, Ben Roethlisberger, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, who's LA's guy?
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff. You know what I'm saying? Like, they all have quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? They're all Super Bowl caliber teams, and they all have quarterbacks. That's what the difference is. And a lot of teams could use a better quarterback, and that answer could have been Cap, but they're too stupid to do it.
I hear you. Well, I mean, it really is it's dumbfounding, bro. I mean, it's awful. I mean,
there's no excuse for him not to be playing football. And I understand from the PR, I'm a big PR guy. I understand. There's going to be a whirlwind, but you're professionals. You can handle it.
Yeah.
Period. You've known about it. You know exactly what you're supposed to do because you're handling it on your own team in case one of your guys goes down there and kneels, does whatever.
Yep.
He's built schools. He's donated money for after-school programs. He's a great guy. People just don't want to see past their own biases. You know what I'm saying? And it's stupid. But like I said, quarterbacks make the team. He would be a better quarterback and would make those teams.
You know what else is stupid, but we're going to do it anyways?
We're going to update our Super Bowl predictions?
Exactly. Our way too early Super Bowl predictions.
I don't know if they're way too early anymore because I'm still sticking with my guys. I'm still.
Oh, really? I made a flop.
Again?
I flopped and then I flopped back.
I'm still going Pittsburgh, Minnesota.
Man, I'm going
Pittsburgh, Minnesota?
No.
Oh. Don't you dare say New England, LA.
That's what I'm saying. No, I'm sticking with Pittsburgh. I'm going to stick with Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I mean, they were right there in that game, in it to win it. Antonio Brown, if he's able to come back for the playoffs, have another weapon. They didn't have him for. Yeah, they don't have him. They didn't have him for most of that game yesterday.
Yeah.
Come on,
they win that game.
I feel like they do. But yeah, it's going to be Pittsburgh and the Rams, man. I mean, I went to the Saints last week.
Jared Goff.
But listen, man, they tore up Seattle. They tore them up, carved them up like a turkey on Thanksgiving.
Seattle's not as good as everybody thinks they are either.
No, they're not. But
Russell Wilson has just thrown
the Rams are for real.
The Rams, they're for real. No, they're not. You can be as for real as you want. Nobody's getting past the Minnesota Vikings defense.
I guess we'll see.
I still think the Vikings have a chance to beat Pittsburgh. Antonio Brown's going to come off an injury, so he's not going to be as dominant.
Rams,
Pittsburgh,
and the
Minnesota.
Rams.
Pittsburgh,
Chalk it up.
Say it with me right now.
Pittsburgh and
Minnesota.
The Rams. Pittsburgh and the Rams.
Minnesota.
The Rams?
I think you're a little confused. All right, guys. I'm Tex Armstreet.
I'm Chase Hope.
Thanks for listening to Cover 2 Sports. We never blow any coverage.